It's chicken bundle time. Are you ready to cook? Today we're going to make chicken bundles. It's an Italian dish that's so flavorful. We put 2 carrots, 2 onions, and 2 stalks of celery with 2 cloves of garlic in a food processor and make a nice little paste. This is how we start this dish. The next step after you've pureed it is to check the food processor to make sure the consistency is good for sautéing. You want to make sure every little bit is broken up. And once you have a nice, and it's going to look a little pasty, but don't worry, it's fine. About a tablespoon over medium-high heat, and we're going to sauté all of our pulverized vegetables in our beautiful olive oil. Now, you don't worry if the olive oil is not hot yet. It's a school night. Now, while that's sautéing, we're going to add some of the chicken sausage. So you want to put the chicken sausage and break it up right in the pan. You want to give it a nice smell to make sure that you can identify the spices inside, and then you'll know how to season the dish better. I probably use 2 to 3 sausage links for the breakup, and later in the dish I put whole sausage in when I cook it. Because I really don't like to waste anything, and I find that when I try to save 1 or 2 pieces of chicken or sausage links, they never get used. So now you want to rinse off your chicken thighs. Don't be afraid of the dark meat. The dark meat is full of muscle. In fact, it is the muscle of the animal. And the fact that it's dark means that it is attached to some fat as well. So you want to trim the fat, but then you'll get a nice, rich piece of meat. Do not be afraid that it is a more fatty piece of meat and that it's not healthy. It is healthy. It's full of protein and it is full of muscle. So we're going to go ahead and pound these chicken thighs so that they're flat and thin and perfectly sized for a nice roll. A piece of saran wrap on top of the chicken to avoid splashing me, and then I pound it. So right now you want to make sure that you line the countertop with aluminum foil like I did right here. You put on top of that some saran wrap, and then you put your chicken thighs. Now take a piece of saran wrap when you pound so that your pounder is on top of the saran wrap between the pounder and the chicken thigh. This is going to allow you to make sure that it's an easy cleanup. You want to trim the fat to make sure that each chicken thigh is as lean as possible. This is going to ensure not only a tasty and delicious chicken thigh bundle, but also something that's lean. So let's go back and take a look at what we're sautéing here. The chicken sausage is now being broken up. The flavors are emitting. There's very, very little oil in this pan, but remember, we're cooking fresh vegetables and a very lean sausage, and we do not want a greasy, oily filling. We are not using any carbohydrates in this filling. It is pure vegetables and protein. So let's go ahead and make sure that it's sautéed nice. All right, so we rough chopped some parsley. Remember, we're putting it in the processor anyway. And we're going to rip some thyme, so I picked some from my garden, and we're going to throw that in there. Here you can see the sausage and everything is cooking up nicely. You can break it apart a little bit just for a little cooking advantage. And that's exactly what you're looking for. All right. Next step, back in the food processor. Now we're going to put a spoonful of the filling into the end of the little chicken. See that? Put a generous spoonful, and then you're going to roll it like this. You're not going to be able to get the sides in because it's just almost impossible, but I'll show you a little trick in a second. So now the bacon, we're going to wrap it around this way to kind of keep all the filling in. So we're going to do it once around this way, and then loop it over, so kind of like you're knitting. I don't know, knitting? If that's a good analogy. And then you're going to loop it back this way, okay? So you see how the bacon just kind of looks like a little tie for this, and it kind of holds it all together. And then you secure it on each end with a little toothpick, and you have made yourself a little chicken bundle. See that? So you're going to do that for each of your chicken bundles. We're going to heat up some olive oil in the same pan. You don't need to clean this pan. This pan's going to also go in the oven. So this is a very easy to clean dinner. Don't worry about the time it's taking to make it, because you're going to be fine. All right. So we're gonna saute. These are our little chicken bundles, and I leave 2 plain because I have 2 kids and you never know if they like what's being offered. So I always try to kidify or kid-proof everything I make. So take your little chicken bundles and you wanna go ahead and saute them in the hot oil. And you can do them in batches or else they're not going to brown nicely. Okay, so here are the chicken bundles rendering all their delicious flavor. Don't freak out. It's 1 piece of bacon on each of these bundles. That's nothing to freak out about. And these are our 2 plain bundles, remember, for the kids. You always want to kid-proof all your meals and make sure the kids like it. I always serve a little rice with this dish because the kids love chicken and rice. So we're going to go ahead and saute both sides of the chicken, but you're looking for a nice color like this, and you're looking for this type of saute. So here we are, a little glass of wine, never hurt anybody. Oh yeah, Italian reds, no less. All right, so here we go. We're going to take our little bundles off, put them on a side plate, and then saute the rest of your little bundles of joy. All right, so in the meantime, look, we've got some extra stuffing. You're always gonna have extra stuffing. Take a can of tomatoes and the extra stuffing. Give it a little pulse, and that is your sauce. So as we saute the chicken, I like to pour myself a little glass of wine, maybe have a conversation with my daughter, and just kind of relax. That's what cooking's all about. It doesn't have to be a chore. Look how beautiful that looks. All right, now you see we have everything simmering. Take your sauce and gently, so you don't burn yourself, get it all in there. It's gonna bubble, bubble, bubble. You wanna give it a nice stir. Take a look at this. You got this? Come here, let me see. All right, so this put on real low, and now you see what I call a nice little bath, okay? We're gonna season it with some nice salt, not too much because you know we have bacon, and a little pepper, and that, my friends, is absolutely delicious, trust me. Now you're gonna take your little bundles and you're gonna put them in their little bath. Ooh, that little bacon got loose. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be okay. Look at it. The rest are tight. That's all you need. All right, so put them in the bath. Don't forget your plain ones. Beautiful. We already have the oven heated up at 350. Stick all your chicken in there. You see all this delicious juice? Don't throw that out. Don't be crazy. All right, there you go. Now you got all your chicken. Turn it around so it's coated in the sauce in a nice, delicious bath. Make some white rice on the side while it's cooking in the oven because you only need probably about 20 minutes. But don't worry, you cannot overcook this dish, okay? Don't worry, we have toothpicks in there. The toothpicks are fine. All right, open your oven. And this is what I love about this pan. I'll stick it right in there. All right, and I'm gonna cover it with a little aluminum foil. All right, so we're gonna cover it with a little aluminum foil. I probably should have done that before it was in the oven, but we like to make things difficult. And the reason I do that is I don't want a brown crust on top. Want to see how easy this is to clean up? There you go. Forgot about these guys. These are those 2 little chicken sausages. Remember we only used 3? You know what? I'm sticking them right in the sauce. Why not? Look at this. Right in there. Little chicken sausage. You know your husband's gonna eat those. There you go. Now you just added another portion.
Now, when everything's cooking, I take a little moment for myself. I usually watch a cooking show with a little bit of wine. Now, this is the most beautiful dough that I've seen made on TV in I don't know how long. This dough is so silky, you can tell, and the way she rolls it, the way her technique. I mean, that's just something that's perfected over generations. It really is quite amazing. So she's showing us how to knead the dough and how to roll the dough just using a rolling pin. which I think is pretty phenomenal. And later on in the program, she tells us that one of her relatives actually used a wine bottle to roll out the dough, which I think is really great. I mean, the techniques and the styles of some of the chefs in Italy that I witnessed were just out of this world.
Let's check on the bundles.
All right, let's take the foil off, and you can see the delicious look. It looks like you cooked it all day. The color of the sauce, the flavors, you cannot imagine how fantastic this dish tastes. We've got some water boiling. I'm going to throw some pasta in. I know I said rice, but I didn't have rice. You can use pasta. Use whatever you want. This dish is fantastic. Sauce. That looks like it's been cooking all day. But how long do we cook it? For 25 minutes. You see the delicious sausage and the chicken. This dish tastes so amazing. You will not believe that it took an hour to make. 30 minutes to chop and 30 minutes to sip your wine. Enjoy. Kids, we take a little pasta and we put it in the plate just like this. Kids love pasta. Or you want a plain?
Plain.
You don't want a bundle? And you put the chicken on top and you layer it with a little bit of sauce. And what a delicious meal. This is the kids' portion. Wait till you see what we've got. So this is the adult portion. We don't usually have carbs at night, so that's fine because this is a very high protein meal. Now remember, we have toothpicks in here, but I just want to show you the inside of your chicken bundles. That is full of flavor.